I'm sure you can tell. I truly hate this. If you have a passion, chances are you have a designated area or space where you nurture that passion. So I guess this video is about the ebb and flow of creative witchcraft and the melancholy that follows when it's dormant. If you'd like to visit with me and watch some time-lapse art while I ramble, here we go. I tried to make this my space. When there aren't piles of crap lying on it, I'm more inclined to sit down and create. Wouldn't you be? I recently started a second job, as if Broom Closet didn't have enough time as it was. So what you were seeing was neglect. An artist's worst studio nightmare. No space. No inspiration. No creativity. Most days I work 5 a.m. to 6 p.m. So the desk became a wasteland. I have a book called Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert. I should say I had a book. I loaned it to someone who, you guessed it, wasn't feeling tapped into their artistic witchy self. Really wish I had that book right now. Then I'd be able to tell you what I had read and how unstuck I was. Even these drawings, they were made a while ago when I was in the unstuck phase. I've tried in the past weeks to form something, to practice. Some of you'll understand that phase in which whatever you attempt ends up looking like shit. I can tell you, I'm knee-deep in it. I can say that there's been the occasional songwriting session, and I still feel that twinge of witchery when I wipe down the leaves of my monstera plant. But alas, I need to acknowledge this dry spell. The deep longing I have to nurture Broom Closet and connect with, well, you. I guess I should jump back and explain this second job that I got. I've lived in California now for 6 years. I've evacuated 3 times due to fires. I crave seasons. California is not my forever home, and I never tried to fool myself into thinking it was. And poor Aaron has endured enough of my lamentations over the length and ferocity of the California heat. I told him it was time to start planning. As a nanny, I'm paid enough to forward my phone, gas, rent, etc. But nothing was going into savings, apart from Christmas or birthday money. So I got a job, now as a PetSmart employee. 4 a.m., I'm up, washed, readied, caffeinated, and out the door. I handle the stock and inventory. my day is filled, you see. Which leaves Broom Closet, collecting cobwebs. Of course, there's a day here and there, but where's my motivation? Never mind my imagination. What's stopping me from pulling out my easel? Besides making space in the living room corner, moving the chair, the 2 potted plants, the cat food, their water, and a big poster frame. If I wanted to paint badly enough, I'd pull out the stiff bristled brushes that haven't been used since last winter and give them a good cleaning. I'd pull out the old oil paint and make sure I hadn't accidentally left any open. Probably only to discover I'm out of the color I would eventually need in the end. I'd find the time to track down a spare canvas, probably settling for an old used one, which I'd have to re-gesso and wait to dry and prime again. Once all this is done, I can either stare at it, waiting for an idea, or browse Pinterest for an hour or so. Do you see where I'm going with this? It's kind of a give a moose a muffin situation. I know that's a very cynical way of looking at it. But it seems inspiration in my personal journey tends to come in large flashes or dreams. I know all artists go through this. And I understand the universe is pulling my creative, conscious somewhere else. Apparently, universe needs it for something else. So creating this time lapse and this voiceover is my attempt at chipping away at that ice block of artist block. The sketchbook that I have been using for the past year started as an ugly sketchbook. I didn't attach any rules to it in the beginning. I used it as a notebook, or to jot down a random phone number, and in it, I gave myself the freedom to make ugly things. To create the imperfect, the disproportionate, the unfinished. In the last few months, I've noticed I'm more than 3/4 of the way through it. It's probably the first notebook that I've had that I'd be able to fill. And seeing how far along I was seemed to change my art inside it. I noticed I became more strained with trying to fill it with drawings that looked like things. Perfect things. And I know this is what's holding me back. If I attach this need for perfection to this small, insignificant sketchbook that no one will ever see, I'm scared that to start something bigger, the stakes for perfection will ultimately be higher. I've always had trouble with self-confidence. Just get it started. Just do something. No one has to see it. You don't have to share it. If it sucks, it sucks. But as an artist, you try to make the visually pleasing, or inspiring, or thought-provoking. We do it because it makes us happy. But when it's forced, it becomes a job and not my passion anymore. I guess what I'm trying to say is, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I haven't been around, but I can't force it. Art takes time, and I know all of you understand, and you're saying you don't have to be sorry. But I care very deeply about the connection that I share with all of you. And you have to put the work in to make the relationship work.